It's truly been a labor of love. I think I'm learning that I'm not so much of a tight knitter anymore. I am starting my Christmas sweater. Hi and welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mathilde. I'm a French knitter. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. In this episode, we are going to talk about my one finished object, and it is a big one. And then I've got 2 whips to update you on, 2 new cast-ons, and quite a few acquisitions. So let's just get straight into it. Let's talk about what I'm wearing, which is my finished object of this podcast, which is one that I've been waiting for since I've cast it on, and I didn't think it would take me so many months to finish, but it did, and I'm so pleased with it. So I'm wearing my Agnete Cardigan by PetiteKnit. This is finally a finished object. I cast this on the, I want to say 25th of February, but like late February, or even the 2nd of February, anyway. And I knew it was going to be a long one. I didn't think it would take me as long as this, but it's truly been a labor of love and I'm obsessed with it. There will be a project vlog coming out next week, so if you're interested about all of the gritty, nitty, I think that's the expression, details about this, absolutely subscribe so that you don't miss that video. But let's quickly talk about, I don't even remember where I was at in the last podcast. I think I must have started the second sleeve at least. Anyways, I knitted this in Knitting for Live, soft silk mohair and merino in the colorway red currant. And I've got quite a bit left of the mohair. I've got 2 full skeins. Or actually, I think I started, yeah, this one is a little bit used, but I've got 1 full skein and like maybe 20 grams of the other. And I've got maybe 30 grams of the merino. So definitely didn't play yarn chicken, even though I thought I was going to. And I don't know why I bought so much mohair, because I bought like 8 balls of mohair. So I don't know, I should check the pattern, what the pattern says, but yeah, definitely leftovers from that. I love this yarn combination. I really love the fabric that it gives. It's really, really lovely, and in this brioche I really do think it makes the brioche shine even more. I love the mohair in it. I think it's just perfect. It's soft, it's warm, it's cozy, so I'll definitely use it again. I used 3.5mm needles instead of 3mm needles, which is what the pattern recommended. Now, I did that gauge on 3.5mm needles and it was still even a little bit tighter than the recommended gauge, so I decided to knit a size medium in order to get somewhere between a size small and size medium bust circumference. I ended up getting the exact measurement of the size medium, so I guess my gauge wasn't that off. So I definitely needed to go up to a 3.5mm needles, but I think I could have gone with the size small. And so I ended up with 110 centimeter bust circumference, so that means I've got more than the 10 to 15 centimeter positives. I've got about 20 centimeters of positive. But whilst I think it really bloomed and it's, tiny bit more of a size than intended, I really do love how it's looking. I think the sleeves are not as wide as they are in the sample pictures, but I think they grew quite a bit and they're definitely not tight, so I do still really like the look of them. I think I forgot to show you guys that I bought the buttons in the last podcast. I had received them and I forgot to show them as acquisitions, but I did get the same buttons as PetiteKnit used in her Agnete Cardigan, so those are buttons by PetiteKnit. So I think for the details of this knit, it'll be in the project vlog coming next week, but in the meantime, let's talk about the stats of this project. I cast this on the 25th of February, which is what I remembered correctly, and I cast this off exactly 8 months later on the 25th of October. So that means it was on my needles for a total amount of 242 days. Now, obviously I didn't knit on it extensively during those days, but this is a time-consuming knit and it hurt my wrist a little bit to knit the brioche, so I had to take quite a few breaks. and the body just dragged on because it was so many stitches. It took me so long to do just one row, but you know, we got through it. I think the sleeves only took me from 2 to 3 weeks for both of them. I mean, like 1 week and a half for each of them, so 3 weeks total. And that's because, at least for me, knitting the brioche in the round was really more gratifying, just, you know, kind of more potato chippy, because you had to change row by row what you were doing, and so it kept me entertained. As for the yarn cost of this, so I used a gift card to buy the yarn. So the soft silk mohair and the merino rounded up to around 85.76 euros total. That's with the gift card. Without the gift card, obviously that would be 40 euros more, so quite an expensive project, but because of that gift card it allowed me to reduce that price a little bit. The pattern price was 6.98 euros, and I paid 7.90 euros for the button. That means the total cost for this project was 100 euros 74. So because of that gift card, it really allowed me to not to be the most expensive project in my wardrobe. 100 euros is still pretty expensive, but I mean, considering the amount of time I spent knitting on it, it kept me entertained for a while, and I think I've already worn it 4 times since I finished it, and I finished it about a week ago, so hopefully the cost per wear will be quite low, or quite high. No, I think quite low. So yeah, I'm really happy about this project. I'm really excited to get started on editing the project vlog for you guys. I hope, you know, filming a vlog on such a long period is really quite tricky, so hopefully I haven't missed anything and I'll be able to give you guys all of the info on this project. But let's move on to my first sweep, I guess, of this podcast. I've got quite a few progress on my Esther sweater. I've been kind of obsessed with it, to be honest. I do have still to weave in all of the ends, so apologies for that, but I'm almost done with the body, and I knitted the collar. I think last time I was just starting knitting in the round under the arms. I think I had done maybe 1 centimeter. So since then I've finished the motif on the body, and I'm on the ribbing now. I've done, I think, 4 to 5 centimeters on the body, and I think the pattern asks for 9 centimeters. I'm still not 100% sure. I'm gonna do 7 or 9. I'll see. I have to try it on again, so I'll do that for you guys as well. PetiteKnit says to do at least to finish on a full motif or half a motif. For her, she did the amount I did plus half a motif. And when I tried it on, I think I was wearing joggers, and I was like, oh, I think that'll be fine with the 9 centimeters of ribbing. Now, I think I should have actually maybe done exactly the same number of repeats as she did, so I should have done that half repeat more. But I think with the 9 centimeters of ribbing, it will balance out. And I also added the folded collar. I didn't want to do the mock neck, because I think I'll just get more wear out of this one. And what I did for the ribbing on the collar is that I actually knitted it from the inside out. So I did a German short row so that I could knit it like from the wrong side, so that my ribbing was neater on this side. And I wanted to do the same thing for the body, but I forgot. So for the body, this is like how my ribbing is looking, which, I mean, it's not terrible, it's just a little bit less neat than from here. Hopefully you can see that. I did do for the color another German short row right before knitting the folded collar down to the cast on edge, because I wasn't sure otherwise how to do it. And I didn't do the recommended double knitting that you do in the middle of the collar before, so that, you know, it allows the fold to sit more gently, mostly because I wasn't sure, like, should I follow the exact same instructions since I was knitting it from the wrong side, and I didn't really want to have to think about it, and I think it looks fine without it anyway, so I didn't bother with it. I should check, but I think my gauge is a bit off on this one. I think I'm learning that I'm not so much of a tight knitter anymore, surprisingly enough, so I think I'm knitting this on bigger needles than the recommended needle size. I'm using 4.5 instead of 4, I think. Oh no, sorry, 5mm needles. I'm using 4.5 for the ribbing. So I think the pattern is supposed to be knit on 4.5mm needles and 3.5 for the ribbing, I think. And so yeah, I think it'll definitely end up more oversized than, you know, intended, but it'll be fine. I think this is going to be such a cozy, lovely knit. It's so soft. It's going to be quite warm, I think, and I'm really, really excited to get this done. So hopefully for next time I'll have at least the ribbing done and started on the sleeve. I'm kind of hoping to be finished with it for the next podcast because I've got a long weekend ahead of me. I've got 4 days. I mean, like, I've got a weekend plus 2 days off of work, so I've got 4 days, and I kind of want to focus on this just for those 4 days, but we'll see. And let me talk about the yarn before I forget. I'm using Olivia and Olivia Fibers Organic Decay and Suri Silk in the colorway Chestnut. And the Suri Silk is 74% baby Suri alpaca, 26% mulberry silk, and the Organic Decay is 100% non-superwash fine merino, and this is a lovely combination. I think I'm on my 3rd skein of the Organic Decay, but on my 2nd skein of the Suri Silk, so I think I should have plenty of yarn, which is good because I was a little bit worried at one point that I had only bought 4 skeins of the Organic Decay, but I did buy 5. So I should be fine. I did want to mention, which I can't show you anymore because I'm on the ribbing now, but for the Esther Sweater, to make sure I wasn't making mistakes, I did still make one mistake, but let's not talk about it. To make sure I didn't make any mistakes in the motif, I did put stitch markers around these lines of stitches and here and, you know, everywhere on the body. So I had around 16 stitch markers. So I had 2 surrounding each knit stitches just to make sure it was more easy to read my knitting and like to not really think about it, but still kind of check everywhere if I was doing it right, if that makes sense. Next up, we have a colorwork project, which, I mean, I'm really excited about. I've shown you a little bit before, but these are my Kitten Catch Mittens by Florence Miller. And I mean, how cute is this? They look so good. I'm using needle size up from the recommended needle size because I'm pairing it. I'm using fingering plus mohair for this. So I am using, let me check, I think I'm using 3mm needles for the hand and 2.5 for this instead of 2.75 and 2.25, I think. I didn't have 2.75 needles anyway, so I kind of needed to change which needles to use. I am using Le Petit Lambswool by Bûches as my fingering weight yarn in colorway Ecru and Burgundy Grey. And I'm pairing these with, these were won in a giveaway, so I mean, I didn't buy these. But they were gifted like as part of a giveaway that I won on Instagram. And then I'm using Isager Silk Mohair in the colorway 36, which was leftover from my test knit from Turks Knits, which I did in September. So this was gifted, sponsored, but this I bought myself, which is the Knitting for Live Soft Silk Mohair in the colorway Cream. And that's what this is doing. So because I'm using silk mohair, I mean, you know, the colors kind of blend more together, especially in the cat's face. You can see I've got a bit more like burgundy silk mohair slipping through, but I don't really mind. I think it's going to be so warm and cozy. It's going to be really nice. Let me try them on for you. So this is the part I'm a little bit confused about. I'm about to start the decreases. I think that this is going to be quite long, but I mean, it's going to be really nice, but I just don't know if that's how long mittens, colorwork mittens are supposed to be. We'll just pretend that it is. But I really, really love how this is feeling. It's definitely like I've got room in there, especially in the hand. So I think my gauge is a bit off maybe. Maybe I'm knitting a little bit looser than I thought I would. but I mean, I don't want these to be too tight anyway, so I think I'll be fine. I'm not going to start over. I'm really excited to finish the first mitten. Hopefully for next time I'll have done that. I mean, I've just got the decreases on the top to do, and the thumb with the little fish, which is going to be so cute. And I'll definitely try to cast the second one pretty soon after that, because I feel like this is going to be like a second sock syndrome, like the second mitten syndrome. I'm kind of scared about it. I did make a slight mistake in the colorwork, because as you can see here, you're supposed to alternate, you know, three white stitches and one white, one burgundy, one white. And you can see here I messed up a little bit here and here, and I realized afterwards and I corrected it. It's just on one side, not even on this side. I think I might just duplicate stitch those few stitches, but I mean, I'm seeing it. You guys are seeing it. Nobody else is gonna know. So that's it for the Kitten Catch Mittens. Now this is sort of part of my acquisition, but I mean, it's also a new whip, so let's just talk about it. I am starting my Christmas sweater, and I think I'll have as much trouble with it as my porcelain sweater. And I've only got, I guess, a month and a half to finish it before Christmas. Now, I'm saying it's my Christmas sweater. I don't necessarily want it for Christmas, but I do want it as a winter sweater. So I want to knit the Harriet Sweater by Knit. So that's the same designer as the porcelain sweater. And the colors that I chose for this, I mean, I guess you can guess from my Kitten Catch Mittens that I'm obsessed with these colors, but yeah, burgundy and white. Oops. So I bought some, I mean, I think I did mention that I made a pretty big order from Knitting for Olive from their Gaza fundraiser, which only just arrived a week or so ago, because I mean, the package was lost and then this color wasn't in stock anymore, so they had to wait until it was back in stock to send it to me. So thankfully I did get it, and I really wanted this colorway for this Harriet sweater. I think it's just perfect. I'm obsessed with burgundy and white, so yeah, I'm really excited about this project. So I bought Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair in the colorway Bordeaux, and I'm pairing it with my favorite colorway from Knitting for Olive, which is the cream. And so it's Merino and Soft Silk Mohair as well. Oh, this is so soft. I always forget. This is going to be so nice. I love it. And so, I mean, I don't have that much to show you because I only cast on yesterday, and I'm going to have to frog and start over. But I mean, you know, I cast on something. Yeah, let's talk about the gauge first. It's so good. It's so cute, but as you can see, it's also so tiny. So I'm not reaching gauge in the colorwork, but also I'm starting to think that my gauge in small swatches is just lying to me, because when I'm, you know, trying to get my gauge here, I am getting more stitches per centimeter than the pattern is supposed to have, whereas here I'm like 2 centimeters short. Obviously this is the colorwork and this is stockinette, so it's not exactly the same, but I did go half a needle size up for the colorwork, and I'm using the recommended needle size for this. Because I assumed from my colorwork swatch that I thought I was going to be a little bit short on my gauge, so I cast on 2 sizes up from what I would have otherwise cast on. So I cast on the size small to medium, which is the 3rd size in the pattern. Now, that being said, the pattern is absolutely gorgeous, but it does have a quite a ridiculous, at least for me, amount of positives recommended, because it's between 25 to 40 centimeters of positives, which is, like, first of all, quite a big range. And so you don't have that many sizes considering the amount of positives that's intended. And so for the larger sizes, the positives is even smaller. It's quite, I mean, I have to say it's a bit odd. I don't want 40 centimeters of positives, and in one of her sample pictures, she's wearing she's wearing 25 centimeter fusiliers, and I think that's the one I kind of want, between 25 to 30 maximum. I cast on the size small medium because of how tight my gauge was here in order to have around that amount of fusiliers, but because in this small cast on party I'm getting 23 stitches per 10 centimeter instead of 21 stitches. I don't know if my gauge is that loose, to be honest. I mean, I counted this at least 6 times to make sure, but I think I'm at least on gauge. So I'm gonna start over. I mean, I didn't get a lot done. That's like 2 hours of work, not a lot. But I think I'm gonna still keep using the same needle size recommended, but I am going to knit the size extra small, which is the smallest size in the pattern, and which, if I'm on gauge, I think should get me 24 centimeter for fusiliers, because I was thinking of knitting the size 2, which is size XS, which would give me 32 centimeter for fusiliers, but if my gauge is looser, I'm going to end up with more fusiliers, so I would rather do the size extra small and maybe get a bit more centimeter of fusiliers in that than the other way around. So I'm going to do that, and if it ends up being smaller, you know, we'll see. We'll try it on again, but because of all of these issues, I'm not even sure I'm going to finish this by the end of December, so we'll see. But it's going to be really cute. I can't wait to start over, I suppose. And I mean, you probably thought that I was going to be done with brioche for the rest of the year, if not for another year, but apparently I'm really a little bit crazy because I cast on another brioche project. Now, if you've seen my fall knitting plans, you've heard about this, and I think I even mentioned it at the beginning of the year that I really wanted to knit this as a gift knit for my grandmother. She is, I think, the most knit worthy person in the world, and I'm really excited to be knitting this for her. So I'm knitting the November vest by PetiteKnit with the Rome Natura Gilliatt in the colorway L'Heure Bleue, which is a worsted weight yarn. It's 100% wool, and I think this is a little bit up from the recommended yarn. I think she uses DK in her patterns, but I really wanted to use this yarn specifically because my grandmother is quite sensitive to wool or mohair and stuff, and so I sneakily asked her if she found this itchy or not, and she said it was really soft, so I really wanted to use that for her. And I've cast on. So I don't have a ton of progress, but I mean, this is going by a little bit faster than this because I'm knitting this on 4.5mm needles. I've cast on, I've finished the increases on the back. Now I've just got to knit back and forth for a bit before I start shaping the increases for the armholes, and yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is quite funny though, because I mean, to be honest, I wasn't that excited to cast on another brioche project, but I mean, for my grandmother, I'm ready to do anything. And I was really dreading the Judy's Magic Cast On, which is what is recommended for this one, when you start the double knitting band, because you knit the button band as you go. And so you start by knitting this bit, the double knitting, and for the Agnete you do a Judy's Magic Cast On, I guess, so that when you pick up for one of the shoulders, the button band is a little bit, you know, it's neater to knit. I'll show a clip of how it's looking on the back here, even though I kind of messed up and I had a pearl row in the middle and it was looking really weird, and so I was really nervous about casting this on and having the same issue, but it's not actually the same instructions at all. You just do a long tail cast on and then you add stitches to do the Italian, or I suppose double knitting setup, and then you do the double knitting, so it's a little bit less neat. I mean, we'll see when I pick it up, we'll see how that looks. I did consider for a split second using the same instructions as the Agnete Cardigan, but because I was so dreading it, I didn't. And I mean, it's on the back, we'll see how that looks, but I don't think it will look horrible anyways. And yeah, afterwards you just pick up stitches at the bottom of the double knitting, you know, band that you do, and you start shaping with increases. And that's the brioche. So Hopefully I can get this done pretty quickly since I'm knitting this on 4.5mm needles, but I am knitting this in the size extra large, so this is going to take me a bit longer than it usually would for a project for me, because I'm knitting size larger than I would knit for myself. She's also really tall, so I'll have to lengthen, I think, the length of the garment as well, so we'll see. Let's move on to acquisitions. So as I said, I ordered from Knitting for Olive, and all of my order came in, and I didn't just purchase the yarn for the Harriet sweater. I also got a sweater quantity of the Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair in the colorway Licorice to make a cardigan. So I've been wanting a black cardigan. I've been wanting to knit myself a black cardigan for ages. I mean, ever since I started knitting, to be honest, but I just never had a yarn, a sweater quantity in my stash. So now I've finally got it. I just have to decide on a cardigan pattern. I've got a few in my head. I was thinking of a Scarlet cardigan by PetiteKnit, or I'm leaning more towards, and I know this is going to be shocking, but I am leaning more towards a round neck cardigan, because I just think for a basic black cardigan that I'm going to wear over dresses, over a black white t-shirt, I just think this is going to look a little bit more sophisticated in a way. And I've got 2 or even 3 v-neck cardigans in my wardrobe. I've got only one round neck cardigan, but it's quite a thick cardigan. It's more of a jacket, so I'm not wearing it a ton. So because of that, I'm leaning towards the Darcy cardigan by Knit or the Port cardigan by Ozera. So let me know if you have a preference for any of those, or if you have any other suggestions for a round neck cardigan that you think could work with these yarns. That's fingering plus lace. I would love to hear them. That will be a project for next year for sure. Then I also got, I think, 1 or 2 balls of the Knitting for Olive Merino in the cream, and 1 ball of the Licorice in the Merino as well, because I want to try to self-draft a pair of shorts next year, because I've got a pair of shorts in my wardrobe, like store-bought, that I absolutely love, but they're a bit big for me now. And I mean, they were already a bit too big when I bought them, but because I've got... Anyways, we'll talk about that when I self-draft them, but so that'll be for next year. And I mean, we'll see how that goes, because I've never self-drafted something. And finally, I guess last but not least, I've bought myself a dress quantity of the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the colorway Dusty Olive, or Olive, yeah, it's just Olive. My roommates, who I've talked about a few times before, are getting married next year, and so I really want to knit myself a dress that I'll be able to wear to the wedding, but I'll also be able to wear, during the summer, whenever. And so I really wanted to use this beautiful color. I mean, it's definitely leaning a bit darker on camera. I'll try to get a picture of how it's looking really, but it's definitely more of an olive tone. It's looking a bit more foresty green on camera. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. This is going to be an intense project for next year. I think I will try to cast it on around February, because they're getting married in September, so that should hopefully leave me enough time to knit this. But yeah, I'm very, very excited about this, and a little bit scared. Finally, it's not really acquisitions, and I've talked about it in my latest vlog, but I did want to share it also on the podcast. I tried to dye yarn for the first time. How good does this look? Oh, I love it so much. So these are the Merino wool by Maison Septembre, so it's 100% wool, 100% merino wool. It's 50 gram skeins each, and I dyed this one using turmeric, and I dyed this with madder roots, and it was supposed to give me a darker red, but I really love how these are looking together, and I'm excited. I've got a 3rd skein to dye, so I'll do that sometime in the next couple of weeks, but I'm also thinking of buying 2 more of the 50 grams undyed from Maison Septembre. I think she sells them undyed. I'll have to check. Hopefully she does. So that I can dye 2 more colors so that I can hopefully maybe make a Celeste sweater by PetiteKnit. How good would that be? Like, to use my hand-dyed yarn in a colorwork project. I think that would be super cute. Excited about this and excited to dye some more yarn. But I think that's it for this podcast. I hope it wasn't too long. I kind of yapped a bit. Definitely let me know what you were knitting on whilst watching this video. I always love to hear it. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.